But if you're able to what? Face your mind, tell you that, look, this is what I want and this is what I'm getting. Trust me, you'll be free, you'll be okay. Like, this is really funny because you waste your time, guys, chat. You all waste your time trying to bargain and create with your mind. Not knowing that at the back somewhere in your mind, it already made up its fucking mind. It already made up the decision that it will take. Because you gang bros. How you doing? What time it is? Popular's proud time, bitches. I am Popular's back. What time it is? What time it is? We on some. Look, guys, I'm planning on getting my headset tomorrow, right? Okay, let me go see if I can change this light to a little bit different. Okay. Sound like different. It's looking good. I'm looking good, man. I'm looking good. My head is chopped, guys. My head is really chopped. My head is chopped, for real. So, chat. Like, what's up with you, man? Like, what's up with you, man? What's up with you, man? We lit. Look, guys. Today has been very I won't say, I didn't go to the gym today, though. Okay, I'll just make up fucking stupid ass excuses. Okay, but regardless, we are here today. Okay, we're here to make some fucking streaming. Okay, guys, look, I'm gonna lie for you guys, right? For you, right? I think, or I feel like, okay, you know, me coming to the streaming and YouTube and stuff, right? It kind of like bestowed on me for the fact that, and if I look at other people that is coming up, okay, it just tends to be like, yo, look, I have this certain idea in my mind, right? Okay, the way I have it in my mind is that it's gonna take a lot of time. You feel me, right? But at the same time, I watched one particular video about one particular guy talking about why some people have been like, oh, this should take time, this stuff will take time. And I remember this particular quote concerning what is his name? Jimon, okay? Don't other motivational speaker like that. They say that, and Alex Omozi, they say that most people underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years than they can in 1 year. And something I those line, okay? And it kind of like bestowed on me because I have this idea that, okay, if I'm streaming right now, okay, to take me time. To take me not a lot of time, but like, it take me time to like come up and just be that kind of great streamer, okay? But there's a part of me that be like, yo, why would you be saying this shit will take you time? Like, put a fucking date, put a particular time, and, you know, make it your deadline so you can be working so hard to get there. Okay? So I'm just like, I want to have this idea, okay, this thing will take me time, but at the same time, I'm just like, nah, this shit will not take me time. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you know what I'm saying? But even though right now I feel that the route I'm taking, right, is a much more solidified route later down the future, I still know for a fact that I'm gonna make it out of streaming, okay? Because see, the desire, the motivation for me to want to use and fucking carry my whole family out of the situation that we're in right now is insane. Okay? So I don't use that desire and that motivation to be complaining about, oh, why am I not in this position? Why am I in this position? I don't use that desire to push myself to work every single day. Okay? So guys, look, I've been learning a lot these days. I've been doing some kind of things that I'm kind of surprised about. That's kind of shocking me, but we on. Okay, so guys, look, you know, I want to do it right. I will come here, share some kind of knowledge to you guys. Then we move on to our more fucking streaming, talking, chatting, okay? Because your boy doesn't have a fucking PC, well, I'm living in the trenches, right? That's the main reason why I want to make it out of this fucking streaming. Okay? That's the main reason why I want to make it out of fucking streaming, okay? Because I know that I'm gonna be like, look, you guys don't know my fucking vibe. You guys know my fucking vibe. Alright? Let's get lit. So, today's video, right? For my YouTube though, we're talking about how to like fucking deal with procrastination, because look, everybody's a fucking victim to procrastination, okay? I'm a victim, you're a victim, you are a victim, you're a victim, okay? You are a victim, okay? So I'm a victim as well, okay? But there's some things I know that you don't fucking know. But guess what? I'm not that wicked. So I'll let you on the secret to know how to fucking do that shit. Okay? There's no secret, there's no blueprint, there's no even magic way to find overcome it. It's just some knowledge, you know? There's not a quote it said that your knowledge, you know, the level of your knowledge determines the level where you are in life. And that's kind of true. Okay? What I know about procrastination, most of you guys don't know it. Feel me? Let's get lit. So right today, guys, cha. I can't wait for my headset, guys. Look, I can't wait for my headset. Okay. Now, talking about procrastination, right? There are two main reasons why, as humans, we tend to procrastinate. Okay. And the reason why we tend to procrastinate is because one of them is that there are some emotions that we tend to try to avoid. That's one. And the other is the fact that our mind cannot figure out what steps to take to achieve a certain goal. Okay? But the one that people tend to fall in the most is the fact that they try to avoid some certain emotions. And even they try to avoid the part of taking accountability for what? For their actions. Okay? So those are the two things, but that number one is like the most important one, because that's the main reason why. Because try to like avoid emotions. Okay, I was a victim, and I knew that you are a victim. Okay, each one of you looking at me right now is a fucking victim. Okay, now what you have to understand is that it is not actually hard to kind of reduce how much you tend to procrastinate. It's simple, but it's still simply hard. I don't know, like, can someone even actually stop procrastinating? I don't fucking know. Okay, I feel like we can stop, but we are humans. We tend to still want to push tasks to later, okay? But that one aside, okay? Now, coupled with all that I've said, right? So particular thing that you have to know right as well. You don't need willpower. Okay, you don't need willpower to do this, because most be like, you know, when they wake up, they're like, oh, I want to do this particular shit, and they find themselves doing something else that they don't want to do, that is not in line with their original goal or what they have to do. And they begin to be like, force themselves to get back on track. Okay, so you see, right? I think the main actual problem to being addicted to procrastination, right, is that we all wait to feel ready to carry the particular action. Like, how many of you guys have been in that position before, waiting to feel ready to carry the particular action? We all tend to wait to feel ready to carry the particular action. Okay, and if they don't feel that ready, if they don't feel that feeling, they tend to push down to later. Okay, they tend to push on that task on to later, and waiting to feel ready, right? Like I said before, my previous streams is that waiting to feel ready is based on motivation and willpower, which is totally an easy feel. Okay, two of those things are what an easy feel. Now, how do you deal with procrastination shit? Okay, because it's like a fucking shit. How do you deal with it? Now, I will tell you in a minute. If after I tell you to please go and follow my fucking YouTube, guys. Okay, look, like I said before, I have things going on. I have things coming up for you guys. Okay, like I have a lot of things coming up for you guys, but trust me, I'm still coming up with that vibe. Okay, I have a lot of things going on for you guys. Trust me, like I've said before, right, in my fucking goal, right, I will be part of the biggest streamer in Nigeria. That's fact. Okay, now let's get back to topic, right? Now, the main how to actually like do this shit, you know, how to overcome this procrastination shit, right, is that you have to understand that your mind is no part of you. Okay, your mind is no part of you. Now, if you look at procrastination in general, right, we tend to have these thoughts in our head telling you, giving us excuses why we should do an action later. Okay, we have this particular, and those thoughts are coming from the what? They are coming from the mind. Okay, but guess what? It is not the mind that makes us procrastinate. Sorry, will I say it's not the mind? Yes, it's not the mind. It's just that we are not able to know how to manage it well. That's the reason why we tend to procrastinate. Okay, now the decision that your mind makes is different from your own particular decision that you want to make or you will make. And most people right now, chat, I know that most of you will get defensive, but don't get defensive because you will not learn. Okay, you won't fucking learn. Okay, the more you think your mind is you and you're your mind, the more mentally ill you will become. The more mentally what ill you become. Now, why do I say so that you're not your mind and your mind is not you? Because look at your thoughts. The thoughts you have, the ideas, they all come from where? They all come from the mind. Is that not so? Now, what you don't get is that those particular things, right? The thoughts, the idea, the imagination, okay? Most of the times, they are not reality. Okay? They're not backed up by fact. They're just kind of like, they're more like projections. They're more like fantasies. They're more like imaginations. They're more like imaginations that we tend to be like, that we just tend to like think up, that come up in our head. And we tend to go along with them. Okay, so now, whatever the mind tends to bring, okay, whatever stuff come up from the fucking mind of ours is not based on facts. Okay, the mind is being backed up by dopamine, emotion, reaction. That is why it's not in the right state, or like it's not the right thing to give us an advice. Okay, it's not the right thing to give us an advice, and it's never the right thing to follow, because it doesn't give us the right direction every single time. That's just how it is. Especially when we want to do something that is better for us, that is best for us, our mind literally just tends to go against it. Okay, but don't blame me, because most of you guys, right? Most of you guys don't know that you are finding yourself, or they find themselves moving based on what the mind is telling them, failing to really understand that whether it is right or it is wrong. They just go with the flow. And the reason why I tend to go with the flow is because you think that you are your mind and your mind is you. Okay, you tend to forget that you make decisions without your mind interfering. Okay, but you are letting your mind interfere in your decision making. That's the reason why I tend to have this negotiation back and forth, this chaotic thinking about, okay, whether you should do this or not. Because at that point, you now have conflict, okay, about which action to take, which action not to take, which action is the right one, which action is not the right one. When in general, just make the fucking decision, bro. Just make the fucking decision and face the fucking consequences. That's how it's supposed to be. Make the decision and face the effing consequences. But instead of doing that, you tend to bargain, you negotiate with your mind. Not mean that like, this is really funny, because you waste your time, guys, chat. You all waste your time trying to bargain and negotiate with your mind, not knowing that at the back somewhere in your mind, it already made up its fucking mind. It already made up the decision that to take. Because you yourself, you are too fucking weak to come to a conclusion and face it. And when you are able to do that, trust me, you will be free. When you are able to make a decision and stand by it and face whatever consequences it comes with, it's because that some of you guys are not willing to face the consequences that comes with facing your mind and coming up with your own decision. That's why you guys tend to negotiate, bargain, feeling as if you are weak. But if you're able to face your mind, tell you that, look, this is what I want and this is what I'm getting, trust me, you'll be free, you'll be okay. Okay, and look, disclaimer, if I am mentioning thoughts, imagination, ideas, okay, just know that I am referring to the mind. I am referring to what? I am referring to the mind. Now, but at the same time, right, your imagination, okay, I don't know how to tell you. You can use discernment to know that your imagination, your thoughts, all those things are not reality until you make them a reality. Okay, your thoughts, your ideas, all those things are not reality until you make them what part of your reality. But now this is yet like this pattern is the crazy part. Okay, those thoughts and ideas that come up are stuff that we could have done probably in the past or something that we want to do in the future. You know, like I said before, right? Our mind, whatever comes up in our mind are just projection. They are not real action. Okay, those things that come up in your mind are not what? They are not real action. Okay, there are things that we would want to do probably in the future or things that we have done in the past, but they are not something that we are doing or like that we have done and we are thinking of. Okay, the thoughts, the idea, the fantasy, right? They are not reality until you give life into them or until you bring life into them. And that's the reason why you hear all these podcast people, like all the people that are talking about, life and motivation. Okay, they talk about bringing life or bringing what you are thinking in your head. Okay, bring them to reality. The imagination you're having about your life, bring it to reality. And that's the reason. And the reason why they're saying is because they know that all those things are not fucking real. If they are real, then why they also bring it to reality? In fact, hold up, wait. If those things are reality, right? Why is your life not according to what you're thinking? Why is that every day you're waking up trying to walk towards that life you're thinking in your head? They're not fucking reality. Okay, we tend to make them reality when we are giving it life that's working towards them, visualizing every single day, talking about it until that becomes what the reality. Okay, that's what you guys need to like fucking understand. Are you guys getting me? Look, I'm spreading knowledge right now, bruh. Okay, I'm spreading knowledge. This is what you guys need to fucking understand. Okay, and before we move on, right? Before we move on, because you guys now have become lost, right? Before we move on, right? You need to understand that what I'm referring to the negative side of where we are procrastinating. Okay, letting our mind do our decision for us. Okay, now our mind has a way of playing trick on us. Okay, our mind has a way of, let's say, tend to give us these early dates. Okay, our mind have a way of tend to give us early dates, right? Let me explain what I mean, because you guys have early dates as well. Now, there are people who have died early because their mind is like, I will die, or your problems will kill you. Now, the more they kept on nurturing this idea, this thing in their head, the more they kept giving it life, the more it becomes a reality to them. Like, I'm speaking the obvious right now. Okay, that's even the less obvious. Okay, because there are people who right now they are died not because of what. I read this book of the subconscious mind. Well, one particular part I read in this book, I talked about a particular person who was not sick, okay, but because of the fact that he kept on watching sick people, sick news, watching people who are in the hospital, the more he kept on watching those kind of things, the more his mind kept on nurturing that idea, and eventually he became sick, not because of some certain disease, but because of his mind made what he's thinking a reality. Chat, are you feeling me? Okay, now let's even speak of the obvious. Okay, let's speak of our fear of probably ghosts. The undead, maybe the dead, that kind of thing. The more you keep on nurturing the idea that ghosts are real, right? The more you keep on nurturing it, the more your mind tends to bring it to reality. And you even keep on seeing, at some point, right, you'll be seeing ghosts that are not even really there. You start having, I don't know what they call it, I can't really remember. Chat, tell me, like, the particular thing they call it when you have this, like, you just have this idea of something is in this particular place and you become scared. Like, I can't really remember the name. Okay, but you keep giving what is on your mind live. Okay, now let me take a step back, right? You giving what is in your mind life, substance, okay, bringing it to life isn't a bad thing. Okay, where you are wrong is letting that mind program your movement. Okay, your mind is telling that you die, your problems will die, your problems will kill you. Because of the more you keep on nurturing it, the more you start taking steps that will eventually lead to your death. Okay?